Welcome back everyone to more Tsukihime. Let's continue.
アルクエイド、お前の話は俺には分からない。どんなに相手が違う生き物だとしても、どんなに俺が無力だとしても、責任は同じなんだ。俺はやっぱり多くの人を見殺しにしたし、多くの人を見殺しにするのは嫌なんだ。だから今さら自分だけ逃げるなんてできない。
I sigh deeply and stare up at the ceiling. There we go. At least my resolve is finally rock solid.
吸血鬼を倒す。それがあのホテルにいて自分だけ生き残った俺が取るべき責任なんだと思う。
My affirmation is just as much for myself as it is for Arkwade. Arkwade sighs as if blaming herself for my decision. I don't know why she asked me for help in the first place.
そっか。じゃあ私は何も言わない。シキが一緒に戦ってくれるのは助かるしね。あなたならブローブなんて問題なく一撃で殺せるんだから。
いや、それは無理だろ。あいつの周り熱くて近づけないんだから。それ以前にどうやってあいつを見つけるんだ？
見つけるって、シキってほんと極端なのね。逃げないって決めたら今度はこっちから攻めに行こうだなんて。
That's called confidence.
なんとなくそう思っただけだ。極端の化身みたいなお前に言われたくない。
私は効率重視なだけよ。まあいいわ。言っておくけど、ここからは持久戦だから。一番確実な戦法は私の体力が戻りきるまで逃げること。あと3日もすれば私の規模は3割ぐらいまで回復する。それだけの出力があれば私一人でもブローブを倒しきれる。
Then why don't we wait like a week or so so you're even better?
3日？いや、でも。
ええ、その3日間ブローブは野放しよ。あいつは地下に潜って人間から血液を補充する。それだけじゃない。あの様子からすると夜の街を徘徊するかもしれない。
Okay, that's true too. She makes a good point. Time is of the essence, but still.
あいつ正気が欠けていたし、姿を隠さないと教会に狙われるなんてセオリー頭にないのかもね。
それはダメだ。あいつはいるだけで炎をまき散らす怪物なんだぞ。一日だって放っておけるか。
なら昼間のうちにブローブを見つけて殺すしかない。でもそれには反対よ。大まかな場所は目星がつくけど、睡眠中の人ほど用心深いものはないわ。今の私たちじゃ返り討ちになる可能性の方が高いもの。
そんな、奴の居場所に目星がついてるのにむざむざ見逃すっていうのか。
ええ、言ったでしょ。人間が何人ブローブの餌食になろうと私には関係のない話だって。
I swallow hard. I understand what she's saying. If we're to play it safe, or even stand a chance at all, then it's better to wait for Arkway to recover from her wounds and regain her strength first. But on the other hand, the more time we waste here, the more victims will fall right into Vlov's hands. I'm going to search for Vlad right now. I should at least wait here till evening falls. I am gonna go the Arcwade route and wait for her to recover at least. So I don't know. It seems like waiting in general is probably a good idea for now, but I guess we'll see. We search for Vlad right now. It's still daylight, but I want to give Arcway a chance to recover first, though. I don't know. Hopefully I don't get a bad end from this, but either way. Haste makes waste. My heart says we can't allow Vlad to remain on the loose for another second, but that would be reckless. What was I even thinking? That I can just go out there, find him, and kill him myself? That was just a scenario conjured up by my guilty conscience to tempt me into escaping reality. I need to keep it cool, level head. If I really want to defeat that vampire, and if I really want to reduce the number of casualties, then we have to stick it out for now. But even so, 3 days feels like a lifetime.
アルクエイド、俺が見張りをする義務は昨日で終わりって言ったよな。
言ったけど、何よ、やっぱり怖くなった？
いや、そうじゃないんだ。ここからは義務じゃなくて協力になるなら、俺の頼みも聞いてほしい。俺はお前の言う通りにする。お前の指示に従う。盾は無理でも、ナイフぐらいはこなしてみせる。だからその代わり。
その代わり
？3日は待てない。今夜、奴を誘い出そう。
あなた、本気？
Arcway peers at me skeptically, as if she's asking me whether or not I have a death wish. I'm well aware it's dangerous, but I'm not planning to back down from this either.
冗談でこんなこと言い出せるか？俺だって死にたくない。だから聞かせてくれ。今夜まで休んだお前と俺の目でグローブは倒せるか？
The only one capable of making that judgment is Arcwade herself. If she says it can be done, I'll wager everything I have on those odds.
そうね。シキが私の言う通りに動いてくれるなら、私たちの方が強いかな。でも、それでいいの？3日待った方が安全だよ。
分かってる。でも、これが俺のギリギリの許容範囲なんだ。それ以上は精神が持たない。
ふん。まあ、それならいいけど。正直に言えば、3日間逃げ切れる可能性も低かったし。じゃあ今から路線変更。作戦会議ね。式はどこで戦いたいの？
いや、いいのか？
I'm genuinely shocked at how easily she let me have my way. I was expecting a lot more pushback after seeing how serious she can get about battle.
それならいいって言ったでしょ？私が3日間逃げ切れるのか、今夜私たちでブローブを殺すのか。どちらも同じ成功率だもの。違うのはあなたの生存確率だけよ。
そっか。ありがとう、アルクエイド。
私としてはおすすめできないけど。ほんと、式ってわかんない。
I understand that my selfish request will make it harder to defeat Vlad with certainty. So I wasn't surprised that Arcway looked a little dismayed by it. After all, she's all about efficiency. But I was surprised that she didn't reject it outright. I'm not sure if she did it to respect my feelings, or if she just figured it didn't have much of an impact on her overall odds. Either way, I'm glad she agreed to side with me.
じゃ、ちょっと小休止ね。お腹減ってるでしょ、シキ。さっきのおかわりいる？新しいの作ってあげよっか。
いや、 自分で作るから、冷蔵庫の食材だけ好きに使わせていただきます。
I feel bad for not trying it, but I don't possess the fortitude to stomach whatever heaping up ingredients Arkwade slapped together on a plate. Maybe if I were in peak condition. No, not even then. Flav is already plenty dangerous. If a confrontation with him is inevitable, I'd be better off avoiding Arkwade's lethal cooking, at the very least. I quickly cook up a simple meal before returning to talk to Arkwade. We've outlined a rough plan. Now we just need to refine it. The main issue is the fire. Unless we manage to do something about that, neither Arkwade nor I will be able to get close enough.
やっぱり奇襲しかないよな。あいつはお前が目的っぽかったし、アルクエイドにはおとりになってもらってブローブをおびき寄せる。
You know, I'm more honestly surprised Shiki has been thinking about Akiha, Hisui, Kohaku, worrying about him. I don't know, maybe it'll come up later, but it's just funny.
俺は事前に隠れていて、あいつがお前に気を向けている隙に背後から襲いかかるとか。
It's a sloppy plan, but it's not like I can think of anything better. Though it still doesn't solve the problem of the fire.
基本はその流れでいいと思う。私がおとり、シキがとどめ。シキならブローブがどれだけ命のリザーブを持っていても関係ないしね。
他にも問題はあるぞ。俺はともかく、お前はあいつと正面から向き合うんだ。あの手みたいな炎はどうするんだ？
それは問題じゃないよ。一度受けてみてブローブの炎は3000度程度って分かったし、今から体を耐熱仕様に作り直しておけば耐えられるわ。
は？
Only around 3,000 degrees. I'm pretty sure even rock starts melting at that point.
周囲の炎はもっと簡単。あれは地表にかかっているだけの軽度の汚染だから、シキが物陰から出るとき、ちょっと気合を出して吹き飛ばしてあげる。ホテルの時はシキが後ろにいたからできなかったけど。
It'll be a cinch, huh? It almost feels too simple, this slapdash plot of ours, but I should put some faith in the woman who saved me from him the first time.
だいたい決まりね。まず私が餌になってブローブをおびき寄せる。チキは事前に隠れておく。それでブローブがやってきたらちょっとだけ戦う。今夜の私の体力じゃブローブは倒しきれないけど、周囲の炎を消し飛ばして動きを抑えることならできる。
動きを抑えるって具体的には？まさかお前があいつに掴みかかって上から組み伏せるとか？
そんな野蛮なこといたしません。直接組み伏せるとか無駄すぎるし、今まで一度もしたことないし、する必要性が感じられないし。
そうか。じゃあどうやってブローブを抑え込むんだ？
場所によるけど、基本的には鎖かな。
鎖？鎖ってあの鎖か？
ええ、ほらこんな風に。
Oh. What the hell? A pair of chains just clamped shut around my wrist. Where do these things even come from?
空中の元素を固定化したものよ。私、その形はイメージしやすくて相性いいの。強度は今なら1本あたり100トンぐらいまでかな。とにかく何十本と重ね掛けするから、動きだけなら封じられる。鎖の拘束は手足をメインにして、胴体と頭は控えめにするから、式はブローブの胴体の死を切ればいい。
わかったから、これ解いてくれ。取れる。ブローブの前に俺の両手が。 もげる。
The chains dissolve into thin air, disappearing just as quickly as they appeared. And here we've got yet another example of how ridiculously overpowered Arquade is. But if she can call these chains in and out of existence, then she should also be able to tie down Blob.
とにかく私は戦いになったら隙を見て縄状のものでブローブの手足を縛る。完全に動きを封じられるのは10秒ぐらいだから、そうしたら式は物陰から飛び出して正面からまっすぐ最短でブローブの線を立てばいい。大丈夫、式の腕ならあっけないぐらい簡単に殺せるわ。
正面からってお前。
Arquade says it like it's nothing, but I don't feel quite as confident.
いや、経験していないことを目算に入れるのはやめよう。やっぱりさ、俺がなんとか背後から近づいてあいつの手足の線を切るよ。そうすればとりあえず自由を奪うことになるんだから。
That way Arquade wouldn't even have to fight him. I like to save any fighting for it if my ambush fails. I'll look at Arquade to see if she approves of my plan.
式、それじゃああなたは死ぬわ。
え？
これはどう行動すれば安全なのかの話じゃない。どうすれば死なないのかじゃなくて、どうやって殺すかの話でしょ。
それはそうだけど。
あなたはこれから吸血鬼を相手にするのよ。なら今夜だけでも人間の道徳観念は捨てて、そんな荷物を持っているといざという時に体が重くなるだけだから。
それぐらい分かってる。相手が化け物だから俺だって手伝う気になったんだ。
いいえ、式は分かっていない。手足を切る？やめてよ、そんな自殺行為。手足を切る暇があるのならまず命を切りなさい。他の生き物ならともかく、あなたにだけはそれができるんだから。いい？ブローブには反撃の機会を与えないこと。式の利点は相手に正体が知られていないことだけなんだから。
Arquade leaves me with no room for objection. Her crimson eye says it all. She's telling me that if I miss my first shot, there will be no second chances. And she has a point. Every second I waste cutting through his limbs is another second during which he can engulf my body in flames and burn it to a crisp.
ブローブは夜になればやってくる。その時に私たち、いえ、私と式であいつをこれ以上ないっていう形で殺すの。どう生き延びるかじゃない。どう殺すのか、それだけを考えなさい。
Her gaze is fierce with disapproval. She's really angry. Angry at the fact that I'm still being so naive about all this.
分かった。俺はためらわない。一息で奴の線を全部切る。それでいいんだろう、アルクエイド。
The ferocity in her gaze doesn't dim for a second. At least her silence suggests that she approves of my new attitude.
でもどこで待ち受けようか。このマンションじゃホテルの時と変わらない。人気がなくて俺が隠れられるようなところは。
この町の中央公園が最適よ。深夜になれば人通りはないんだし。それでも通りかかってしまう人がいたのなら、それは純粋にその人に運がなかっただけの話でしょ。
Arquade looks away and turns her back to me as she speaks.
なんだよ。言いたいことがあるなら言えよ。
無理よ。結局、式は一度も殺すと口にしてくれない。このままだと最後の瞬間で、あなたはきっとためらう。それで、あっけなく殺される。
そんなことあるもんか。 相手は100人以上の人間を殺した化け物だ。殺すことにためらいなんてあるはずがないだろう。
Arquaid sighs softly.
士気を魔眼で魅了してしまえば確実にブローブを仕留められるのにね。どうしてかな。初めてそういう気になったのに、初めてそうするのが嫌になっちゃった。なんかすごい矛盾。士気を信じるわ。二人でブローブを倒しましょう。
In a flash, her grim tone takes on its usual upbeat lilt again. Her eyes seem filled with trust, yet I can see concern creeping into her smile. Arquaid and I have arrived at the park a little past 9 p.m.
大事なことだからもう一度だけ説明しておこうかな。長く生きた人にはそのあり方を武器にした懲罰能力がある。吸血種に備わった基本的な能力とは別の、その個体が血を飲むことで持ってしまった特別な呪いみたいなものね。ブローブはその域に達している使徒よ。使徒を倒すということはその懲罰能力を破るということ。あの炎を消す手段を獲得しない限り人間に勝ち目はない。だから私がブローブの呪いを壊すまでシキはあいつに近づかないでね。
Our plan is simple. First, Arquaid will lead him here. She told me that vampires can sense one another's location unless they make an effort to conceal their biological wavelength or something. Apparently, Vlav isn't hiding his wavelength at all, though Arquaid wasn't sure if that was because he doesn't want to or because he can't. Luckily for us, that means she'll know exactly when Vlav approaches us and where from. Normally, Arquaid would hide her wavelength, but right now she's letting it go free, broadcasting her whereabouts and issuing a challenge to Vlav. Trying to draw him like a moth to the flame. And with a bit of luck, the moth will fly straight into our proverbial zapper. Then all we'll have to do is follow through with the plan. I'll observe the battle from my hiding spot in the bushes. While Arquaid binds Vlav with her chains. Then at the signal, I'll jump out and cut through his lines. Arquaid doesn't look nervous at all. If anything, she seems a little bored as her gaze lingers over empty space. I wish I could be that calm. I grip my knife tight in my pocket. It's a bit nerve-wracking. There are a lot of uncertainties in this plan. For one, it hinges on Vlav not noticing me while I hide. Arquaid told me that the chances of him noticing me were extremely low, but that doesn't mean they're non-existent. If he does notice me, I'll be done for. I'll be burned alive without any recourse, just like he did to so many within the hotel. Even so, I'm fine with those odds. I agreed to this plan knowing full well the risks involved. There's just one more major variable. What if Arquaid can't bind Vlav? In other words, what if Vlav manages to defeat Arquaid? I'd have to deal with him myself. It'd come down to me and a single knife to defeat Vlav and save Arquaid. Can I even do such a thing? Can I face those flames alone? Just the thought of it makes me tremble. I tighten my grip on the knife, coiling my fingers around the handle so hard it hurts. An implacable fear wells within me. I can't even pin down what I'm afraid of.
怖いの、シキ。
Before I realize it, Arquaid's standing right in front of me. How pathetic. My quivering must have gotten pretty bad if she noticed.
ああ、めちゃくちゃ怖い。あの吸血鬼が近づいてくるかと思うだけで泣きたくなる。
シキ、泣いてないけど。
必死に我慢してんだよ。わかれ、バカ。
She's so bad at reading the mood, I wish she'd have the slightest clue of what I'm feeling. Why is she the one who's looking hurt? Arkway purses her lips, seemingly dissatisfied with my answer.
ところで、私もその吸血鬼なんだけど。
Are you mad that he's not scared of you?
ああ、知ってるよ。何度も聞いた。
だから、吸血鬼である私が怖くないの？今までのあなたの定義からすると、生き物として嫌悪の対象になると思うんだけど。
え？
I'm a little taken aback by her sudden remark. She's not entirely wrong, but...
なんか、お前は別。だって血を吸ったことないんだろ。ならいい。吸血鬼だろうとなんだろうと、俺たちに手を出さないでいてくれるなら、それでいいんだ。
なるほど。そういう考えもありなんだ。
I guess that convinced her. It's like Arkway's previous hang-ups, slid off her like water off a duck's back. That's a weird turn of phrase. The hands on the clock indicate it's now 10 p.m. According to Arkway, this is when vampires start to get active. He's likely coming up above ground now. I don't know where he's holed up, but he'll notice Arkway's presence as soon as he wakes, and likely make a beeline for the park.
正気？
Arkway's demeanor shifts. Her words drip with contempt as she turns away from me, peering north towards the station.
アルクエイド。
信じられない。あいつ、本当にその一人なの？
I follow her gaze over the horizon. Is that smoke? Thick black smoke curls upward into the night sky. There must be a fire down to... Wait, a fire?
アルクエイド、あれ、まさか。
ブローブよ。無差別に人を襲ってる。正気が欠けている。なんて甘かった。あいつは死者と変わらない。血が足りなければ目の前の人間から補充するけだものだった。文明社会、この時代の人間のルールをまるで把握していない。
The sound of a faraway explosion rings through the air. The smoke surges into the air with newfound intensity. This is bad. If he's moving through the downtown area, then this will be on a whole other scale from the hotel. The numbers of victims alone would be at least in the thousands.
アルクエイド。
分かってる。急ぎましょう、シキ。
We run for the station. Just what the hell is going on over there? He awakes in agonizing pain. His screams pierce the air. There was a loud grinding noise, like a piece of metal getting caught in a blender. His cries are horrific, otherworldly. So horrific, they even make his minions tremble. He writhes and flails and lashes about, but none of his protests numb the pain enveloping his entire being. The skin at his fingertips splits and cracks. Acid oozes from within his bones, melting and gnawing at his body from the inside out. His heart shrivels and corrodes from the necrosis, only to regenerate again, forcing him to prolong his own suffering. An unending cycle of torture doomed to last as long as he lives. His only escape would have been death, but even that salvation was stolen from him long ago. Damn, dude. He doesn't remember why he abandoned death. He doesn't remember when it was that death became such a distant concept. All he knows is suffering, cold, pain, heat, fear. His mind is filled with nothing but animalistic screams. He knows that he came to this land in pursuit of something, to kill something. He left the women he loved behind and crossed the turbulent waters. This is his last chance. He's prepared to reclaim it all, leaving himself no hope for a return journey. The only question is how much remains for him to recover. Day by day, sanity is stripped from his mind. Day by day, the curse consumes his body. Was this fate bestowed upon him as punishment for crimes committed in some distant past? Not even he remembers. He's already forgotten so many things. Whatever it is he yearns to take back, his sanity is no longer on the table. Sanity was lost to him long ago. Sanity can never be found again. His wealth and assets, too, were lost when he traversed the oceans, and now there's no way for him to return to his homeland. The only way for him to survive is to turn this foreign land into his second domain. Yet his past, his future, they matter not. At this moment in time, he craves but one thing: blood. His throat is freezing, his skin is parched, his soul hungers. He needs warm blood as soon as possible. He desires to bathe in it as soon as possible. Questions like where is he or what he's doing pale in the face of such fervent longings. He walks through the darkness. Zombies obediently fall in line behind him, marching silently along. The metal box carries him to the surface where he creeps outside into the brightly lit streets. That very instant, azure flames spill out, flooding the area around them like a ripple on a lake. The humans in the vicinity had no way of sensing the impending danger. Shrouded by a blue haze, he mindlessly steps out onto the crosswalk, ignoring the blinking traffic lights and the van that threatens to crash into him. Meanwhile, his ghouls seize innocent passersby, left and right, grabbing them by their shoulders and taking them to the ground. A plethora of horrific noise follow, the crunching of bone, the devouring of flesh. And though the people scream and cry, none of them flee. By the time they realize this terrible reality has befallen them, they have no recourse. The van collides with a strange man, but at that moment of impact, it is split down the center. In less than a minute, those caught by the ghouls are reduced to pitiful scraps of flesh. Flames fan out through the area, scorching the legs of those trying to escape until they are little more than charred stumps. Their wriggling torsos remain behind as fodder for the ghouls to feed on. Hell's pandemonium given life on Earth. In the middle of the pandemonium, the man regains a glimmer of reason. He squints at the dazzling lights around them. Though his thoughts are still drenched in his own pain, the sight stirs disgust within him, providing a brief moment of clarity.
なぜこの街はこれほどに明るい。汚物はすべからく隠すもの。ことさらに見せつけるのがこの土地のあり方か。
Before him is a vast cornucopia of humans. Normally, he would feast and drink till his gut was brimming with rich, warm blood, but the urge to do so does not strike him now. How can this land be called fertile if the humans inhabiting it have tainted it so?
人間は多い。血には困らない。
The azure flames surround the living dead. They engulf the ghouls, changing their very being and rewriting their composition. They become a type of undead fueled by flame. In exchange for their swollen strength, their lives will quickly burn out like candles.
だが、この豚たちの血にはそそられない。
His physiological disgust only amplifies his curse. Blue flames spill from his being, rushing across the asphalt like a river bursting free from its dam. There, it finds claws and devours all living things.
"結論として無意味だ。
The seared human fruits burst and spew their warm juices as he tramples over their flesh. He accepts their offering with head bent in distaste, an act tantamount to being showered in vomit, but what other choice does he have? If he were not bathed in this disgrace, his body would not move.
この輝きも繁栄も俺には無意味だ。
The burning zombies fall back into line behind him like a ghastly parade. He does not remember what he was chasing, but until he remembers, there's only one thing for him to do. The much-needed service that he is to provide. He sneers, thinking how these humans ought to suffer and die. Yes, this bloated den of humanity deserves a wretched end. The town is in chaos. People crowd the streets as they push and pull to escape the mayhem. The fire in front of the station is visible from here. An emergency broadcast placed in the large digital displays on the sides of the buildings. A fire has broken out at the north exit of Soya Station. All trains heading in and out of Soya have been temporarily suspended. People in the downtown area are currently running for their lives. The broadcast switches over to the news presenter interviewing a young girl. She's wearing a high school uniform. It seems she's only just managed to slip away from the fire.
暑いのね。なんでこんな暑いの？誰かが友達が食べられた。足の腕もなんか死んだのに動いているの。燃えてるのに笑ってるの。
Her voice is panicked, driven, delirious by the dire situation. The fire spreads relentlessly, and the entire neighborhood has been urged to evacuate. But even with those orders in place, the main street is full of people. They gather and draw together, spurred by curiosity. From a distance, they watch the fire unfold, filming and sending messages to update their friends and family. The road to the station has already been blocked off. Fire prevention, perhaps. No, it's too soon for that. There's still too many people in the area to be blocking it off like this. It's almost like they're trying to keep whatever's inside from escaping. We aren't getting through this way.
四季、こっち。
Arkway seizes my hand. Without another word, she tugs me along, guiding me through the mass of onlookers drawn by the fire.
Ch, 待てってば。こんなところに来てどうするんだ。
She lets go of my hand. Arkway slowly scans the wall of the nearest building.
うん、これならいけそう。二人で飛ぶのは初めてだけど、この高さなら問題ないはず。
はあ？
Arkway doesn't hesitate for a second. She grabs my arms as if to secure me.
上まで飛ぶわ。しっかり捕まってなさい、四季。
うわ。うわ。うわ。
Awesome. We're flying. No, we're jumping. Arkway leaped against the wall, bouncing off it and onto the next multiple times until we found ourselves soaring above the rooftops and high across the skies. With me in tow, of course. We're so high up, I'm gonna lose it. How high are we, even? We're above the building, so this is what, 40 meters? Higher? A 20-meter high roller coaster is enough to give me a heart attack. And this has got to be double that, all with my feet dangling over open space.
四季、黙ってないと下噛んじゃうよ。
Arkway tilts her head at my screams, but having said that, her movements only grow more turbulent. She jumps from building to building, bouncing off the rooftops like she were a rabbit hopping around the moon.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
My expression tightens as my body is subjected to forces unimaginable. But just as I'm beginning to enjoy the experience, we come to a full stop. That looked fun. We're atop a tall building that provides us a panorama of the city. A rooftop garden concealed from unwanted eyes, yet here we stand.
お前、 なんて無茶を。
The abrupt up and down movement has me heaving to catch my breath. My chest hurts. I'm sure the blood pressure spike was bad for my heart. And even though there was no change in the air pressure, my whole body is rigid from coming for such an abrupt halt. It's like I've got the bends.
見て、あそこよ。
見ろって、何。
I don't manage to finish the thought. For a moment, I even forget about my racing heart. It's all on fire. Our city. This place that I know so well. Its familiar buildings are awash in a sea of flame. My eyes adjust to the sight, and I see the tragedy play out in full view. The main street is veiled in hues of red as the fire colors the town. The flames whittle away the surface of the buildings like a knife. An unholy river of flames with that man at the center of it all, basking in the rain of blood as he sates himself. There are silhouettes spread out in front of him. Police officers have him surrounded on all sides to stop his onslaught. The muzzles of their pistols flash, they all fire on cue. Vlov doesn't flinch in the slightest. He likely hasn't even noticed the police's presence. More silhouettes step out from the flames behind the monstrous man. Flaming zombies. Some of them may have been alive mere minutes ago, but now they're little more than shambling corpses. They approach the police officers, as if begging for their help.
なんだ、
Utter disbelief coats my voice. It's too late to turn back now. All the urgent bravado I had for this mission was bleached away by the sight of the town. The only thing left is pure horror. So this is a vampire's true power. A power that enables him to kill people just by existing. And we're supposed to defeat him?
いないわね、教会の連中。ここまで見境なしならそろそろやってくるはずだけど、やっぱりこの国には赴任していない。でもその割にはきっちり交通規制はしているし、ここの代行者、実戦派じゃなくて制服組なのかしら。
Arcwade's focus lies elsewhere, away from the river of flames. She seems to be on guard for something else.
さあ、どうしようかシキ。見ての通り、ブローブはあの状態よ。私を探し出そうとする理性すらなかったただの殺戮者。あのまま放っておけば、あいつは血を消耗して弱体化する。ブローブの存在規模から言ってこの町は燃え尽きるだろうけど、その後なら私一人でも倒せるわ。楽をして傍観をする？それとも。
I know what she's saying. Do I want to brave the danger to save these lives? She must already know my answer, but she's still checking my resolve one last time. A chill crawls down my back, but I stare back with as much willpower as I can muster.
方針に変更なしなのね。これを見ても気が変わらないなんて、あなたもブローブのことは言えないかも。でもどうするの？私はこのまま始めても構わないけど。
Starting? Is she saying she can change the location of the battle?
なんとかできるのか、あの状況。
うまくいけば、私も人目につくのは避けたいし。
頼む、今すぐあいつを叩き出してくれ。
了解。ならあいつごとそこに落とすわ。あの下、なんか空洞みたいだし。
Taken below? A cavern? What is she talking about? Never mind, this isn't the time to be asking questions. We've got to get him away from here as fast as we can.
でも約束は忘れないで。ちゃんと後からついてきてね。
And before my mind has time to catch up with all she said, Arkway jumps. She abandons me on the roof and leaps into the void. There she floats, like a beautiful pale flower caught in the breeze. A flurry of air catches her body as she falls from the rooftop, unfettered from the chains of gravity, unanchored by nature's laws. Instead of falling, she rises gently. Like a ship in the wind, she sails across the night sky. Like a piece of blue glass moon, right? I can't even be surprised. She's like an infant incarnation of the planet. Every fluctuation that plays across its surface belongs to her. All of nature's blessings, all its fury. That which nurtures life and that which destroys it, both are hers to wield, to embody.
よーし
The beautiful flower swivels her body away from the moon. Her attention shifts from the skies to the ground. It is time for her unbound chains and coiled up anchors to slam into the ground. Below her is the concrete castle spewing sparks of flame.
せーの
Well, damn! The flower that bloomed in the night sky transforms into a falling star. The moon lily becomes a tempest to blow away the conflagration. She's a human missile. She must have fallen from a height of some 80 meters in the sky to hit Blob. No, not fallen. It was calculated. She launched herself right at him. After adjusting her trajectory in the air, she accelerates towards her target with missile-like precision. Dirt and debris erupts in a cloud around the impact site. The massive storm of dust sweeps the area. Even the ever-expanding river of fire is snuffed out in one fell swoop. The police officers that have surrounded Blob are sent flying backwards by the blast. Most of them are instantly put out of commission. Those who weren't knocked out are too overcome by fear to mount any sort of resistance. A perfectly natural response. The dust settles, unveiling the scene below, or what's left of it anyway. Arquade's attack didn't just take out Vlov, she plunged into the earth and shattered through its surface, taking a section of the station's north exit and a good chunk of the shopping district down with her. So this is what she meant when she said she'd take him down. The crater has got to be at least 40 meters deep. It feels like I'm witnessing some spectacle of nature on par with the Amazon rainforest or Niagara Falls.
少しは加減しろあのバカ
No, of course not. This isn't praise.
あーでもすごいなクソ偶然かそれとも計算か
From my vantage point on the rooftop, I don't spot any casualties. Police officers outside of the blast zone come rushing in to tend to their unconscious brethren. They then set out to withdraw from the area. As a result, the vicinity is completely cleared of human life. She's one hell of a force to be reckoned with. Was that Vlov's fire? Maybe Arquade missed her target or Vlov managed to dodge just in time. Either way, he's still alive. What a monster surviving a blast like that. But something is chasing him down within the flames. A burst of white flashes from within the cloud of dust, pushing back against him. You're gonna come in after me, okay? Arquade's words echo in my mind. There'll be time to think later. For now, I've gotta get down from here. You know, she could have brought him down, and then could have done her thing. Her super missile landing. I make for the stairs. I cut through the lock in the door with my knife. I hurtle down the stairs by the glow of the emergency lights. My resolve and my breathing are both rendered wild and ragged as I speed downwards. All I have to do is sever Vlov's lines. First, Arquade will fight him and bind him with her chains. Then it'll be my turn. I'll run up to him, cut his lines, and chop him up to pieces. What Arquade did just now is truly amazing. It's no wonder she insisted she could restrain him. That said,
だけど
Vlov is still alive and well. There's a chance that Arquade underestimated him. And if she did, her wounds put her at a disadvantage. Worst case scenario, I'll have to face Vlov alone. No, that won't happen. We didn't plan for the worst because there was never any need to. Because if Arquade were defeated, there'd be no option for me but to run away. At last, I make it to an elevator. I throw myself inside and slam the button for the first floor. There's no more time for doubts. Even if there was, I'm in way too deep to voice them. I try to take a deep breath and check myself over. Good. Still in one piece. Body still moving. The only parts that feel stiff are my fingers. They're gripped so tightly around my knife that they don't even feel like they're part of my own body. Is this fear I'm feeling? Am I scared of facing that monster? That incarnation of violence? If that's all it is, then I'm fine. At least this proves I'm still in my right mind. This is a creature that can kill just by being in close proximity to someone. Any human ought to be afraid of that. But that leaves one other fear. The real problem. Namely, I'm more afraid of killing than being killed. My breathing quickens. My heart thumps faster in my chest like it's trying to break free from my body. I arrive at the first floor.